People, welcome to another edition of that thing Utopian Frenzy that we all know and love as WWE SuperCard. And me, Big Jim, here in a bit of a topsy-turvy BadLadDad HQ. Very busy just recently, just for a change. But what am I doing here right now? I'm here to talk about Giants. Giants Unleashed. Giants Unleashed. Not just talking about going to the toilet after a bad night out. I'm talking about Giants Unleashed in WWE SuperCard. What is it? What's it all about? Maybe you've already started. Maybe you're watching this video. It's too late. I'm too late to tell you what it's all about. Not that I know everything it's all about, but we're going to have a go. We're going to have a go. And thanks ever so much to the gang at 2K Games, Matt and the gang at 2K Games UK, for the footage that will be appearing somewhere around here of Giants Unleashed in action. But what I'm actually going to do is the game, I've now uploaded the bits and pieces of the game. It hasn't started yet. I'm going to go through my deck and just point out a few things now that may help you going forward as we're in these early stages of Giants Unleashed. Have I mentioned Giants Unleashed? But also, I'll put these on to help me to read. I'm getting tired and old these days. I need my reading glasses. But also, actually, I don't need it for this bit. I don't need my reading glasses. Hallelujah! He can walk! I don't need my reading glasses for this bit because I've still got a fusion to collect. Now, I have Carmella, and I have Matt Riddle from the Cataclysm selection of cards. I won't bother to show you two now because it's just delaying the fun of opening a pack. So let's just open a pack just to start off this video of pleasure. And we've got, what do you think? Am I going to get a pro? I don't get pros, do I? Am I going to get a pro? No, I'm not going to get a pro. Okay. I am going to get a pro. That is amazing. Why did I write that off in my head? I don't know. I've got a pro Carmella. That is... Wow. Okay, that's my first female pro in the game. I'll let myself get excited there. Just for once. Let's go into combiner balls. Just to make sure that I'm not dreaming. Come on, you know, you can catch up. There we go. Carmella number one, who I was only kind of half-heartedly working on because I never imagined I was going to get Carmella number two. As you can see, I do have the Roadster to do, which will muscle in on my Road to Glory deck. And Road to Glory decks do have some relevance on Giants Unleashed, which I shall come on to in a second. That is fantastic. Fantastic bit of news to start the video. So pleased to have some positive news to kick off proceedings. Now, Giants Unleashed. Where are we, Giants Unleashed? Let's get to Giants Unleashed. The first thing is, apart from all this introductory palaver, I've been through all that, and I'm sure that you've seen it as well, so you don't need me to go through it again, is look at your deck. Now, what it's doing is it's not something you can amend. You can't call things in to change. So, I will put my glasses on for this bit. What you've got to bear in mind, Giants Unleashed, is it plays very much on having a decent balanced deck of cards with obviously the categories we're very familiar with: power, toughness, speed, and charisma. If you have a look at my deck right now, it's WrestleMania 35 plus. Bit disappointing because I'm on Cataclysm in general. But if you have a look in the power section, some decent WrestleMania pros in there. Same in toughness. And I've, as you can see, I've deliberately not gone any further than 47 out of 85 on Adam Cole, just in case a last man standing turns up at some stage. So I'm just keeping my pros, Cataclysm pros, at a certain level for the time being. Again, speed, you can see I've got a fairly decent run of WrestleMania pros. But we get to charisma, and there's a couple of Cataclysm singles, and look, we're down to a couple of shattereds. Now, what you've got to bear in mind is, if we go into our good old friend, Road to Glory, I am, of course, saying this without any authority whatsoever. I'm just sort of guesstimating as part of the game here. You know what it's like when you're trying to get yourself, your deck up on Road to Glory. You're doing fine when it comes to the males. And you get like maybe the top 7 or 8 are all pros from the new tier. You're not quite in the new tier for some reason in your Road to Glory. It doesn't matter how many more males you're adding in at the bottom. It's not changing things. But you start chucking in a few pro females and it makes a big difference. Now, I get the feeling it's going to be the same. Whereabouts is Giants Unleashed on this? So many games. I get the feeling it's going to be the same here with the deck here. So what I do have for Charisma, I do have a couple of down arrow WrestleMania cards to Pro. I've got quite a few WrestleMania cards to Pro, to be honest with you. As you can see, I've not had a chance to do an awful lot in the game fairly recently. This was the combinables, wasn't it? Yeah, you can see the combinables. So if we go down, there's an old friend lurking down there. There is Ali. And again, you'll see these are cards I've not really worked on. And Cedric. Well, Marcus Cedric. Now, what I have done for the time being, and I'm not going to pro them just yet. I've just stuck them in Royal Rumble in there. And I'm just going to try and get a few games played on them. Probably not going to have time by the time Giants Unleashed rolls around in 4.5 hours. But what I'm going to do is, without them being fully powered up, I see a reflection of my glasses. I really hate, I can't get used to wearing glasses. If you've been used to wearing glasses, you probably still hate them. I just can't get used to it. I'm always losing the flipping things. They fall off my head when I don't know. I give up. That's why I bump into things. Right. Right, no, I'm not short-sighted. What am I talking about? I need them for reading. That's why I've given up reading. As a journalist, that's not a good thing to do. I'm going to stop waffling. I'm going to get on with what I was talking about. Let's get back to me deck. If we start, go away, John. We know. View deck. If you look at the... put these things on again. If you have a look at, say, the Speed Boys there, you look at their stats all in the 830s and 820s, you get to the Charisma Boys, and it's all late 600s, early 700s. So you would, you can imagine if I bring in at least a couple of WrestleMania, I've lost the plot now. If I bring in a couple of these boys, I was going to say WrestleMania 34, I was forgetting what WrestleMania was up to. If I bring in some of these with stats, say around late 700s, early 800s, into this bottom row, it's actually going to boost those stats up by quite a bit. The 2 Cataclysm cards will shuffle down. And those WrestleMania 35 cards will be at the top. So I'm hoping that will... Shall I do it now? No, I've got a bit... I don't really want to do it now because I want to try and give myself the best chance possible to get the highest stats possible. I don't want to pro them when they're too low. No, I won't do it now. That's the first thing anyway. Check your deck out, and if you do have a couple of pros, particularly WrestleMania 35 pros, which, let's face it, give it a few more weeks or a month or so, they're not going to be so important. And those WrestleMania pros that you can see I do still have to do, in the grander scheme of things, just go back to our friend Road to Glory. If I just make sure that's auto-filled, you can see the worst pro I've got down here is Luke Gallows, and that's probably because he hasn't played matches. I've got quite a few here where I've maxed out their stats, but I just haven't had a chance to play matches with them. There's a Lukey boy again. So some of those WrestleMania pros that you saw I still have to do are the pretty low ranking ones, so they wouldn't even muscle into my Road to Glory deck. So it's not really going to hurt to pro them to try and get them into this deck, because it will make a difference in this deck. So that's the first thing, some deck maintenance, if you like. Milestone rewards aren't looking great for me, not milestone rewards, sorry, the main rewards aren't looking great for me at the moment. Giant escaped, it's only going up to WrestleMania 35, and same with Giant's reward. So I'm assuming if I get up to Cataclysm, it may have to be in Cataclysm Plus or Plus Plus to get the Cataclysm rewards. I don't know, but we'll see about that. But the other thing that is important is going to be these little fellas. These little fellas here, I get a feeling tactical use of these fellas is going to be one of the key parts of this game. Now, how many you've got to play with, of course, revolves around yourself as to whether there's packs for you to buy extra ones or what you're going to do with them. But as you can see, they are going to give you a boost when you're coming up against these giants. Again, you're seeing gameplay that was footage supplied by 2K Games, so thank you again, guys, for that. And then where you can see these actual gear cards is in my own game, because for some reason they weren't showing up in the demo version that 2K were using. But you get the gist, you can see from their footage what's actually happening. So it's bringing some of these into play and knowing when to bring some of these into play to help you as you go along. Now, some of it's going to revolve around the cards that have been randomly selected from your main deck that are appearing down the bottom when you come to tackle one of the giants, one of the cards, as to whether you're going to want to bring in 25% bonus damage for blue arrows that match the giant, or 25% bonus damage for yellow arrows that match the giant. There's 100% bonus damage for 4 arrows that match the giant. Wow, that's a bit much. There is a 25% bonus damage for 4 arrows that don't match the giant, and, just for good measure, an ability bonus as well. And these are going to be the things that can determine just how well you're going to play during the game. So this is something, try and familiarise yourself with as fairly quickly as possible. And knowing when to use them and when to save them, as I say, is going to be down to whether you think you're going to have a bountiful supply or whether you're going to be using them sparingly. As to whether we think this is going to be yet another game where people are going to have to throw a load of cash at it, well, I don't know. Potentially not if you've got the time. Potentially not if you've got the time to devote to the game over 4 days. We've got a few things to get used to here in the UK. As I say, it's 4.5 hours to go. It's 3:30 PM on Thursday. So it's not going to start until 8 o'clock in the evening for us here in the UK. Now, we're used to these events, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, kicking off at 8 AM. So that's 8 o'clock on a Thursday morning. So we're having to adjust to these times. I don't know how it affects you in your own time zones, like Birmingham or Manchester. But here in London, 8 o'clock in the evening is the new start time. So that's not a bad time to start because you've got in from work, you've had some dinner. That's great. But it's not so good on the finish time, which is in the very late hours of the morning. I think it's like something like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday night, Monday morning, which isn't good before work. Because if you're doing that, if you've left things till the last minute, you're not going to be very efficient, shall we say, during the working day. Or your school day even, of course. Some of you, of course, are still going to school and enjoying yourselves, no doubt, like we all did in our school days. So that's Giants Unleashed, which I will be having a bash at this evening. You'll say, Big Jim, it's 3:30 in the afternoon, you're at home. Would you believe this is my first day off? I don't want sympathy for this. This is my first day off. 11th of July, first proper day off that's not a weekend day this year. I haven't even had a week off yet. I haven't even had a couple of days off together because I've been so busy. And then when I have had weekends, as some of you know, I've been having to run around looking after family in different parts of the country, which is why I've not seen so much of me this year as I would like. Maybe it suits you. It doesn't suit me. I'd like to have done a lot more of this and obviously played a lot more of the game. So there we go. That's what we've got to look forward to. It's Giants Unleashed. It is coming to a WWE SuperCard near you very soon. I think the best thing I can do is go away. Well, let's see the game start and then come back in a couple of days and just let you know how I'm getting on. I'll let you know too how that deck change went. So I do encourage some of you to experiment with that because I don't like this idea that you can't control the deck that's been selected for you. I do find that a bit limiting. John, just get out of it. I do find that a bit limiting because I would like to select it myself. Not, though, that you can select anything better than what I've got right now for Charisma, because they are obviously my best cards. But yeah, I think bringing a couple of WrestleMania 35 pros in there, albeit they're not going to be absolutely pucker, they're going to be like mint condition, absolutely charged to the max, but they'll be level up to the max, and I think that should make a difference. Whether I'm going to sneak into Cataclysm through that, I don't know. We'll have to wait to see, and whether that's going to help me then try and get better rewards again. We'll have to see. But what I have got, what I'm very pleased with, what I'm delighted with, totally unexpected, Carmella Pro. That is happy days. That is a nice note to finish on. So from me and from Carmella, the lovely Mella, don't forget, if you like the video, what you're going to do. Bung me a few likes down below if you want to see some more of this. I bring out at least once a year. Subscribe and then you'll get that alert once a year when I bring out a new video. There is, of course, social media. There's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's Twitter, where I do actually get a chance to be a bit more active because I can post there morning, noon and night and pest you when you're least expecting it. But until I see you next time, good luck with those Giants. Until I see you next time, you stay cool.
People say to me all the time, "Hey Johnny Wrestling, what does it take to become a winner?" To those people I say, try watching BadLadDad's latest video. He'll show you just what it takes to become a WWE SuperCard champion.